Welcome back. Today is Monday. That means a visit from KRDO medical expert, Dr. John Torres. Dr. John, welcome back. Good to have you.
Thank you very much. Happy summer solstice.
Yes.
About 10 minutes ago,
one.
I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're paying
Happy
attention.
belated Father's Day, too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, we're going to talk about something that's really been in the headlines big time. Researchers at the University of Washington now have a new study looking at kids, sports, and head injuries. What do parents make of all this?
Yeah, and the most important thing is to take concussions very seriously, because we're finding out more and more just how important they are to make sure they fully recover. As a matter of fact, more than 44 million children are involved in athletic activities every year, but how many will suffer head injuries as a result? Well, that's the question that researchers attempt to answer in this brand new study. And what they found is going to surprise you. When they analyzed 3 national databases of injuries reported to healthcare providers and high school athletic trainers, they found that many concussions in kids actually go untreated. Now, the study found between 1 and 2 million children and teens suffered sports or recreation-related concussions each and every year, and that roughly half of these children are never treated for these injuries. Now, since so many children each year experience concussions, researchers argue that these injuries deserve more attention. So if your kid is on the field or on the court, you need to be aware of the signs that they could have a concussion. Now, the signs include headache, confusion, amnesia, dizziness, ringing in the ears, nausea, vomiting. The list goes on and on. If you think it's a possibility, seek medical attention. And what I always tell my parents is, if they get a head injury and anything changes from before to after the head injury, that's a concussion.
Better get checked out.
Exactly. It can be minor signs, but you want to be safe.
Let's talk about some food now. Of course, changes in diets and lifestyles have all contributed to what some are calling an epidemic of acid reflux, or more commonly called heartburn. But many are still dealing with the issue, especially as we go on vacations and events and eat maybe more than we should.
You eat more than you should and you eat different than you should, and that's probably the biggest combination of the things. Now, almost everyone will experience heartburn at some point in his or her life. The important thing to remember, heartburn has almost nothing to do with the heart, and it's usually a minor symptom for most people. But heartburn is a result of stomach acid sneaking up into the esophagus, our feeding tube. Certain foods can trigger it because they can affect the sphincter muscle that normally keeps acid out of the throat and down in the stomach. Peppermint, spicy foods, oily foods, they all potentially have the reaction of loosening up that barrier and causing that acid to flow up. Now, other contributors to heartburn include being overweight, laying down right after eating, and of course, not to mention pregnancy as well. Untreated, chronic heartburn can lead to complications, including bleeding, difficulty swallowing, and in extreme cases, cancer of the esophagus. So heartburn usually goes away in a couple hours for most people, but if it becomes frequent, you need to see your doctor, because again, over the years it can cause issues, and for most people it's easily treated.
Very painful too.
It can be very painful.
Something you want to pay attention to.
Exactly.
Yeah, keeping on the food theme, we're talking diabetes now. We're hearing that new research suggests you don't have to radically alter your diet to significantly lower your risk of developing type 2 diabetes.
Exactly, and the more simple the better, and that's why I really like this study. As a matter of fact, an analysis of 3 long-term studies suggests swapping out 1 or 2 servings of meat and dairy a day with 1 or 2 of vegetables will simply do it. The study found that the type of plant-based foods is very important. The diabetes risk dropped by 34% among healthful plant-based eaters. Those who chose whole grains, fruits, nuts, and vegetables, for example, did better. When participants ate less meat and dairy and these unhealthy plant foods, their diabetes risk actually went up slightly. The unhealthy stuff included refined carbs, things like muffins, sugary foods, cake, soda, you name it. These are the things we're talking about, the things that most people know they should avoid.
The
Kind of
things
a
I
no-brainer,
love,
yeah.
Exactly.
It's like
and
half
so
my diet.
it's simply just switching out a couple things, and again, the more simple things are, the better, because it's easier to make those lifestyle changes, and that's what's important.
Okay.
Changes sound pretty easy to do, though.
Right,
Not too
exactly. Just
difficult.
1 or 2 changes a day, slow changes, easy changes, and that can really help.
Yeah,
Okay.
it makes sense.
Thanks, Dr.
Thanks
John.
for being here as always.
And happy Strawberry Month.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.